Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Banfield. Welcome back to another episode of Drop Dead Serious. I think you're going to love today's conversation. Honestly, this is one of those conversations that I covet. Super in-depth, really, really informative from one of the smarter people who knows his shit, for lack of a better description. And I wanted to have this conversation with my guest today because there's just so much I don't know. And all of us don't know that getting inside the mind of a homicide prosecutor really, really sort of helps to get closer. You probably know this, but for the first time since the murders in Moscow, Idaho, thousands of pages of evidence that have been hidden behind a sweeping gag order. I think there will be things that stay under a gag order, and that is for the dignity of the victims, right? But generally speaking, I think the public has been held back so much from a public process. I can't see a real reason to keep the majority of the investigative information secret. But if you're thinking about the work product over the last 2.5 years on that Brian Koberger murder case, search warrants, forensic reports, GPS data, phone records, witness interviews. Wow. I mean, witness interviews, those kids that showed up on the scene that morning and discovered the disastrous situation that befell 1122 King Road, those are going to be really informative. Basically, every single thing that the public has not been allowed to see. And to break down what we can expect if/when that gag order is lifted, what's at stake, what surprises might actually be waiting in those files, I called Matt Murphy. Matt is a former Orange County prosecutor who has tried some of the most high-profile serial killer and murder cases in California. And he's so insightful because he doesn't just do the job, he really thinks through the job. And he's so analytical. And he followed the Idaho murders from the get-go. And so he has had the same kinds of questions that you and I have had, but way more, like the kinds of questions I might not have even thought to ponder. And so I wanted you to be a part of this conversation with Matt, especially while we're in the crux of possibly finding out the mysteries that have kept us all transfixed by the Idaho murders. Here's Matt and my conversation. I have so many questions. I mean, I think we all have so many questions, not the least of which is motive. Who knows if we'll ever know that? That's not going to likely be in the gag order. But do you expect that we might actually get somewhere, that there might have been some writings or some digital material that the police found in their investigation that leads us to understand a little bit more of why Brian Koberger did this to these 4 innocent kids?